What it is, family? Back after a long little break. I miss y'all, bro. I hope y'all miss me too. You feel me? Today we got another video with 19 Keys, and he got another guest on his show, and they talking about surviving vegan. This resonated with me because throughout this little health journey I've been going through, I've been trying to figure out what's the best food for me, right? And I started out, this is how I really started. I stopped eating beef, pork, all that shit, and then I was just with chicken and fish. I realized, and then I was trying to cut out chicken and just eat the fish. Then I realized fish is bad too. Just, you feel me? It's like, so it got to the point where I thought fish was better than chicken, right? So I was eating fish more. And then I realized that shit not good either. You feel me? So then I went the vegan way, and that shit wasn't helping me that much either. So it say surviving artificial food, but the name of the people they interviewing is called Surviving Vegan. That shit just resonated so much, bro, because it's hard to figure out what your body needs when there's so much information out here just everywhere, you right? And before we get in this video, I realized vegan, so to speak, ain't really the best diet for me. You feel me? Like, I still eat like vegan food, like vegetables and shit. Of course I still eat it, but it didn't give me what I was looking for. What gave me what I was looking for is fruit. That gave me what I was looking for and what I needed. Fruit. Period. We ready to get in this video. I watched like the first 5 minutes or whatever. He was talking about some shit, so I'm like, bro, I gotta bring this to the channel for my peeps, you feel me? For my tribe, you feel me? Hey, and another thing, bro, y'all really don't be commenting and shit. Yo, feel free to comment, bro. Y'all can talk about anything, bro. Anything, bro. If y'all want me to fucking react to something, anything, bro. I really can talk about anything in the world. Like, I might not know everything in the world, but shit, I can talk about a lot of shit about the world, like, you feel me? So, feel me? Drop a comment if you just want me to make a video about something or anything. You feel me? Drop a comment, man. Like the video and subscribe if you fuck with it. You feel me? That's it, man. Let's start it.
But if you come off of that detox and you haven't
exactly
removed the waste from your mind.
Listen, bro, we 5 seconds in, bro. When you coming off a detox, if you haven't removed the waste from your mind, you gonna go right back to all that bullshit you been doing, bro. Everything start with the mind. Literally everything. If you want to create something, it start with the mind. If you want to plan something, it start with the mind. If you want to build something, it start with the mind. You feel me? Let's continue.
As soon as you come off that detox, you're gonna be stuffing your face, and
right.
it's back.
Soon as you get out the detox, you're gonna be stuffing your face. I did this shit. She's fucking right. Cause I did this shit. I'm like, soon as I get off this shit, I'm ready to smash on all that shit. You know? I know what she's talking about. But you gotta get to a point where when you detox, you gotta get to a point where after you detox, you don't even want the bullshit. Not that you gotta try not to eat it. No, you gotta get to the point where you don't even want that shit no more. Cause you take a bite of it, and you probably want to spit it out. Like, you gotta get to that point. You feel me?
Remove the race around.
You said something so key, and that's self-image. You know, I believe that that's more important than anything throughout the entire process. If you can't see yourself in a different image than what you are, right, then you can't become anything else but what's in your mind. Right? So some people's self-image is the big person. So even when they start to slim down, they get back to their self-image. So you have to modify.
Yes, you slim down, but you still view yourself as that fat person. You still feel like that fat person because you've been fat for X amount of years. So it's like, of course, you're mentally not going to feel different just that quickly. You feel me? It takes time for it to really sit in. You feel me? So you still feel like, you don't feel fat, but you still feel like that person that was fat mentally. So you're gonna be looking at yourself as if you didn't even make all that progress. And if you're looking at yourself like you didn't even make all that progress, it's gonna be so much easier you to fall back and slip back into the routine you already was doing, because it's already embedded in you. It's already in your memory.
Your self-image and visualize it first, right? And so once you start to do that type of work, it's like, you know, if you broke, you have to create a better self-image of somebody who has money, somebody who is in these luxury
Correct.
environments, somebody who can afford things, right? Because otherwise, when you get money, your habits are of a poor man, so it's gonna eat that money up and you gonna lose it.
I can speak from experience. I'm very aware of my life. I take everything into consideration, bro. So when I'm broke, I know why I'm broke. If I'm getting money, I know why I'm getting money because I'm aware, right? And when I was, so for me, broke is not a money. It's not a money symbol. It's a spiritual thing. If you broke spiritually, mentally, all that shit, then you're gonna be broke in a physical. So when I was broke spiritually, you can see that shit in my reality, right? So even though I might be making X amount of money, I'm spending X amount of money on bullshit because I got that poor mindset. I'm not even thinking like a rich person. A person with a different mindset that I have that had a mindset of like wealth. If he would have had the same money I had at the time, he probably could have made something happen way differently than I did because I had a poor mindset and I wasn't thinking about how I could turn this money into wealth. You get what I'm saying? That's because I was broke spiritually. You feel me? I had to fix myself. Now I don't even. Now, bro, I used to fucking love Jordans, bro. I don't even buy Jordans no more. You feel me? I will not buy a pair of Jordans. I don't even care about buying Jordans no more. Honestly, I really don't give a fuck. I'd rather buy something else, honestly. But look, that's besides the point, bro. You just got your mindset, bro. It starts here. Start there.
So it's the same thing if you have a big girl self-image, right, and big girl habits, you might lose the weight for a little second, but them big girl habits go eat that plate up, and now you right back into your image because that's what you see of yourself.
Correct.
Look, I know we only a minute in, I pausing this shit like a motherfucker, but I got a lot to say. Look, when you put in all that work, bro. Come on.
So I think that the psychological part is probably the bigger thing that most people are dealing with. And when you talk about getting rid of waste, understanding that all of that fat that is on top of you, right? Especially when, this 5 pounds is because you broke up with somebody. This 5 pounds is because of trauma. This 5 pounds is because of work stress, right? So now your hips is over here. This is your work hips. This the last boyfriend.
Yes,
This the current one. This the
My bad, pause it. I want to see ingredients. What that shit say right there? I don't know if y'all can see it. Tangerine juice, that's it. That's what y'all gotta get right on.
family that's on your back. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna put that in the post.
listen, you got your body is built on your problems.
Yeah.
19 Keys, and this is high level conversation. Tap in with the God.
Peace family, I'm 19 Keys. We here for another high level conversation. Today I'm joined with some very impactful, powerful, vibrational, beautiful human beings. And they brought their black, melanated, vibrational, educational family here to share some very powerful information today. Not only are they entrepreneurs, content creators, vegan educators, right? And I say specifically vegan educators because that's what they do. They have a platform called Surviving Vegan, and they teach you how to survive, which is an oxymoron because it's really teaching you how to thrive by eating right, right? But you know, most people look at it as if it is a hard.
It's a problem with going vegan. I'm not a vegan. I'm plant-based. I'm not a vegan, I'm plant-based. If it got plants in it, I'll fuck with it.
And I believe the impact that they're having is teaching people that it's much harder to be unhealthy than it is to be healthy, right? You're always gonna have a better mood, you're gonna have better energy, you're gonna live a better quality.
And look, just because you eat meat, you can be healthier than a person that's vegan. Because you need to know what you're eating and how that affects your body. You shouldn't just be eating shit, okay? So just because you're vegan don't mean you're healthier than a person that eats meat, okay? It's all about how you consume, when you consume, fasting, all that shit. Look, if y'all got any questions, just drop in the comments, bro. If y'all want me to make a video about one specific topic, like I'm talking about fasting. If y'all want me to talk about fasting, if you put in the comments, y'all want me to talk about meditation, I'm gonna talk about meditation again regardless, cause I'm an advocate for meditation. Let's continue. I'm talking a lot, bro, but you feel me? It's been a minute and I got a lot to say.
Of life. Now, when you see Sister Orisha's content, you know she's a professional, and she is consistently creating new methods to get people to understand that health is wealth. So as I watch her shows, and you know, I call them shows, you understand me, when I see them, because she reminds you to look at what's on the back. What she say, the front is for entertainment, the back is for information. Man, I love that one. And then, of course, join with us is her other half, which is the good guy Grizzly. Now, this brother stays on this Grizzly, you understand me? From what I hear, he taught her to become vegan. And he's also the founder of Digitize Me. So they have digital education platforms as well as they're teaching health. So they're literally teaching health and wealth. And today we're gonna get into both subjects, man. I appreciate y'all being here.
Listen, we appreciate you too, man.
Okay, I love that.
That's an awesome intro right there.
Man, thank you.
I saw a clip and he was talking about intros and was like, yo, I don't intro myself like that, but I can intro somebody else like that. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
You got a 19 keys
try to take the
introduction.
truth and make it poetic. That's all.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
So I want to start with the brain, man. You know, right before I sat down, I was studying on just different things that impact our thinking in our brain. Because, you know, even as we sit here and, you know, we've had a lot of high level conversations on here, but, you know, I worry about people's ability to retain information, right? And I believe that dementia is setting in at early stages, right, for people. And that's because, of course, we're not on a circadian rhythm. We got too much blue light. There's too much things inside the food. We have low education levels, right? So all of these things is the worst combination possible, right, for human beings. Everything is going against our natural order. We're not getting sunlight at prescribed times. We're not drinking the proper amount of water. We're not eating nutrient-rich, dense vitamin foods. So therefore, we are lacking the ability to retain information, to have increased memory, focus, better moods. So what are the ways that you all stay bright-minded, where that light bulb is always on? What are some of the things that you can recommend a person when it comes to brain health?
Well, the first thing I'll say is no information we give is meant to replace that of a licensed physician. You know, the people be peeping. So we got to put that in there. But you want to make sure let me talk from this perspective of veganism, because when a lot of people go vegan, they become carboholics, right? They become starchitarians, and they take the meat off of their plate and they don't create a well-balanced plate. So
I've been through this shit, bro. I know the struggles from transitioning. I know the struggles. It's hard. It's hard as fuck to transition from eating meat. Because first of all, you're addicted to that shit because you've been eating it for X amount of years. You're addicted. So you got to get off that addiction. And the only way you can get through that, off of that shit, is with willpower.
that's the first thing you want to do. Healthy fats is what's going to lead to the memory increase, is going to lead to the focus. So you want to make sure you're eating your healthy fats. When we first went vegan, we were carboholics. We were carboholics, and we just took all of the meat off the plate and kept the white rice. Right? We kept the white flour. We kept the IHOP potatoes. We kept all of these things on our plate, and we actually started to see a decline at first. And we were like, oh my gosh, what are we doing wrong? Right? We got about as big as a stick. We got so small. People was like, what's going on with y'all? Y'all look like y'all thriving. So that's how we actually came up with Surviving Vegan, because it was about understanding how to live according to this new way of life. And I realized, okay, not only are we not following the circadian rhythm, but we're also...
Oh my freaking God, bro. I've just been studying this shit. The circadian rhythm, bro. That shit is so important. I'm going to make a video on that shit. That's going to be my next video, the circadian rhythm. That's going to be my next video.
not balancing our meals at all.
Okay. Listen, and for us, when we first started, though, honestly, we were uneducated like anybody else going into it. We just knew we wanted to make that change. So to really get to the spot that we at today, the way we were able to retain that information was to honestly just tap into the culture that we was just so solely ripped away from. Honestly, because that was enough fuel for me to stay and hold on to it with the dear life because
Yeah.
I felt like nothing else mattered at the time. So, you know, when we talk about carboholics and all that, yeah, we were in that spot, but to really stay in that spot, you need to have, it has to mean something to you.
Right.
That's how I was able to retain the information. It meant something. It wasn't just no trend.
Yeah.
It's a trend nowadays.
No, that's a fact. And, you know, I came up with a list of things that I wanted to read.
It's a trend to be spiritual now, bro. People don't really be spiritual, bro. They think they spiritual. They act like they spiritual. But they don't move like it.
Off, you know, when it comes to brain health specifically, like I believe I talked about this somewhere in a previous episode upon how the brain goes through changes at the age of 25. You understand me? And so during those changes, you have to stimulate the brain in different ways in order to keep that regenesis, that neuroplasticity, you understand me, developing, and your brain able to maintain and retain information that same way. Otherwise, you go through slow cognitive decline.
The average middle-aged person in America is borderline. I don't even want to say that word, but it's literally true. But I don't want to say that word. But the average middle-aged American intelligence is below average, and it's because of the diet. It's because of the lack of awareness. It's mainly because of diet and lack of awareness. Because my brain operates a way now that it did. Okay, so when I was a kid, I was way more creative than I was when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I started losing my connection to the planet, right? What do I mean by this? Alright, so I went from being able to be creative, my mind being able to think freely, to my mind being constricted. I felt the difference. Like when I was a kid, like I wasn't a dumb kid, you know, like I was always aware. Like I was always aware of my thoughts. I was always aware of people. I was always aware of my surroundings and shit. Like I wasn't a dumb kid. My brain, the way my brain worked, I had nobody else to reference because I'm only myself. And I'm a kid. I don't even know what the fuck going on for real. So I'm just analyzing, right? But me looking back on it, at the time when I was a kid, my brain functioned quickly, and it was like very creative. Like I always had a creative thought. I always was thinking about something. You feel me? I was very creative, right? And then around my teens, remember, this after years of eating candy, this after years of eating pork chops, this after years of eating beef, this after years of eating chips, sodas, and all that shit, right around my teens, I started feeling more stupid. Like, I literally felt more stupid. Like I said, I'm aware, right? So, I'm like around 18, 17, and I'm just like, analyzing how I'm thinking. I'm like, bro, why am I thinking so slow? Like, why do I feel stupid? Like I swear, bro, it really was getting to that point. And then before it got too bad, that's when God opened my eyes. Was like, Shazam! You feel me? Open my eyes, Shazam! This is why you doing this. This is why this happened. This is why everything happened. And this is why you a bitch, nigga. You feel me? God just told me everything. I swear, just like that. You feel me? Right? Boom. So, then, after that, right, that's when I started working on making my mind better. That's when I started brushing my teeth with my left hand instead of my right, just to improve my mental cognition. You feel me? It was to that degree. It was to that degree. Meditating, going to deep meditations. I'm telling you, I was fucking devoted to bettering myself, right? So I went from feeling stupid to feeling like a genius. I'm not trying to brag or nothing. I'm not saying I'm a genius. But that's how I feel. That's all I'm saying. That's how I feel. I went from all right, me being a kid, me lacking strength, mental ability just because I'm a kid, right? But my brain still worked very good, quickly, it was smooth. Then it started slowing down, and then I made it better again, and now it's way better than it ever been my entire life, right? But I say that to say this, man. The average American, middle-aged American, is stupid. Bro, okay, I'm gonna say their intelligence is below average, right? Because they aren't aware of how they are hurting themselves, right? In so many different ways. What you watch, what you eat, what you listen to, everything, right? I barely listen to rap music anymore. I listen to rap music, certain artists, like I listen to certain artists a lot, and then it's like some people I don't listen to at all no more. Like I don't even, you feel me? I don't be knowing having this shit that be coming out most of the time, you feel me? But let's start. I know this shit long as fuck, but I had to tell y'all that, right? So I had to, yeah. Now I don't feel like, you feel me? I went from feeling stupid to feeling like a genius, bro. Like the way my brain be making connections without me trying, without me actually putting in the effort, it'd be amazing me sometimes, right? And that's all because, you feel me? Discipline, awareness, discipline, and diet. The diet, bro. The diet. That's what it is.
One of those things, of course, for me, is working out. Working out keeps the brain functioning and it increases focus. I think probably about like 2 hours after working out. It keeps you young, specifically having strenuous workouts. So like if you study and you have a strenuous workout, and I'm talking about not just you just walked around the block, you understand me? I'm talking about doing something that requires some strenuous activity. So therefore now your brain is downloading information, right? Now you're opening up that brain part where you can increase things into your long-term memory, right? And I want to start off with that, like I said, because this is high level information, it's high level knowledge. And
this is neuroplasticity, right? This is how you go from feeling like you stupid to feeling like a genius. This is how you do it. With diet, with working out, everything combined accumulate to this big old thingy and shit.
I want people to be, you know, after you watch this, I want you to go do 100 push-ups or 100 squats.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Because it's mental.
You did. The next one was mental stimulus, right?
I do that shit. I do 100 push-ups. It ain't gonna be unbroken, but I'll do 100 push-ups for y'all at the end of this video. I'll probably make it a separate video, I don't know.
So like reading, writing, puzzles, brain games,
Correct.
something that challenges your brain to think, right? For
Correct.
neurons to actually grow.
Correct.
So when they did studies and they showed that, you know, all of us go through some type of form of dementia, if you will, whether it's smaller forms than other, but different parts of the brain stop working. But as you see, some older people, they can be in their 80s, but their recall is still great.
Correct.
So scientists don't have an 100% on why some people age, and even though certain parts of the brain are not active, they still are able to think very well. And one of them was, they said education levels, right? Like, and that makes sense because, you know, if you have, let's say that you got one part of the brain that holds certain parts of information, but you so well educated and you have so much knowledge that's dense in the other part of your brain, that's sufficient enough for you to be able to utilize, to still maintain and think. And so like, there's been all sort of ways where they look at the brain and find that, yo, it can operate without the other, right? Because our brain is not just different parts. Each part is a symphony that works together with each other. And going into that is another thing of music, right? I see you have your child here. I don't have a child yet. But
Yet, heavy on the yet.
yeah, on the yet. But I always think about, like, when I have a child, I want my child limping into symphony music. You understand me? I don't
Right,
want my
correct.
child knowing rap music or any other music to, you know, whatever age that I feel like their brain has developed properly. But I think that's important because when we listen to music, our brain is doing pattern recognition. It's trying to predict what the next thing is. So
It's a study out that says if you let your baby listen to Beethoven's music, the IQ will increase by a certain percentage or something like that. It's a study. You can look it up yourself, right? So this is why I said I do not listen to all that other music no more. You feel me? It's really a reason why I do what I do. Everything I do for a reason. Everything.
Now our brain is actually working in flow. And so, you know, as you eat, because you are, and I'm gonna let you talk about this part about, you know, detox, right? Because I want to really get right into it. With the detox, of course, you know, eating, we overwork our stomachs and our brains.
Correct.
You understand me? We constantly pulling blood to our stomach so that we can digest food. So we're doing that 2, 3, 4 times throughout the day, right? So the ability for your brain to maintain this health throughout this day, right, is being overworked all day long. So now your thinking slows down, right? Your mood gets bad. You're tired throughout the day. Fatigue is consistent and you develop brain fog. So I want, even though I always do this with questions. I list the important, then I ask the question. But if you could tell me, why, number one, why did you all first started doing detoxes?
So for me, I'll start there. With myself, I had been a person that dealt with depression, suicide as well. Actually, in 2013, I was in a psychiatric ward here in Georgia. And being in, and this is where like the awakening started to happen because I started to ask questions. And being in that facility, I saw so many women on different types of drugs. And I saw that they looked like zombies, right? And I'm like, you know, I wasn't keen to veganism or holistic health at all, but something within me just said, this doesn't seem right. So ever since that experience, thankfully coming out of that in one piece, since that experience, I've always questioned, like, what is it to this health thing? And continuing to ask those questions led to veganism and led to our ultimate awakening, right? But with depression, I find that stress is number one killer for a lot of people. And I say number one killer because we are emotionally eating. The stress that we're experiencing causes us to emotionally eat. It raises the cortisol levels in the blood, which leads to depression. And then you continue this cycle because you feel like I'm not achieving, right? I'm stressed out to achieve, then I'm not achieving. I'm having experiences and I'm attracting experiences that make me feel more depressed. So I realized that I was in that cycle. So becoming vegan for me and removing a lot of...
When you in that cycle, that shit is so hard to get out of. But when you get out of it, bro, you gotta make sure you never go back. When you get out of that shit, never go back. I mean, I'm telling you. Because you can get to a point, where you so far away from that feeling that it's damn near impossible for you to even get depressed again. That's what I'm saying, bro. You got, if you depressed, bro, and you in that cycle and you trying to get out, you just gotta keep going. You gotta look at it of like a wheel of fortune. Like the wheel is turned to this way so many times. You gotta get, like, it's turned this way so many times and you wanna turn it this way. But now you gotta turn it this way so many times just for it to be equal, right? So it's like you've been putting yourself in a hole and you gotta climb out. And the deeper the hole, the harder it is to get out that motherfucker. You feel me? So what I'm saying, yo, when you get out that motherfucker, never go back. Stay disciplined. Make a routine. Make a regimen. Be productive. Do things that will make you happy about yourself. Feel me? You know what you do and you be like, oh, I shouldn't have did that shit. Stop doing that shit. You know what you do and make you feel good about yourself. And you be like, yeah, I like that about myself. I want, that's a good thing. You feel me? That's something I tell so-and-so to get into this acting role. You feel me? You know what's good and bad. You feel me? You gotta be disciplined.
The fast food chemicals, right? A lot of the phthalates, I just made a post about that today. A lot of the things that cause ADD, and you can look that up, phthalates, that's one of the main chemicals that is flooding our children's digestive system, adults as well, because we're eating the fast food. And it causes, like I said, ADD, it causes